blues fans, glad you found us. Time for another episode of This Week in the Blues. I'm your host, Jimbo Big Train Madsen with Big Train and the Locomotives. We're a blues band out of Oklahoma. We have a great episode this week, so let's take a look and see what happened this week in blues history.
Blues guitar player and singer Little Son Joe was born May 18, 1900 in Hughes, Arkansas. Now his birth name was Ernest Lawlers, and he's best known for his musical partnership with his wife, Memphis Minnie. He teamed up with Minnie in the late 1930s, replacing her previous husband and partner, Kansas Joe McCoy, who we heard about in our last episode. Now Lawlers recorded in his own right under the name Little Son Joe, but most of his recorded work was as an accompanist to Minnie. In 1942, he had a hit with Black Rat Swing and billed it as Mr. Memphis Minnie. Well, you know, if you got a good thing, go with it. Blues shouter Big Joe Turner was born May 18, 1911. He was a premier blues shouter of the post-war era, and Turner's roar could rattle the very foundation of any gin joint he sang in, and that's without a microphone, according to legend. I'm pretty loud when I sing, but I still need a microphone. Anyway, Turner effortlessly spanned boogie-woogie, jump blues, and even the first wave of rock and roll, enjoying great success in each genre. Now, Turner was a product of the Kansas City music scene. Blues guitar player Jimmy Thackeray was born May 19th, 1953 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's known for his gritty, blue-collar approach and marathon live shows. Now, Thackeray was part of the band The Nighthawks for many years. By the late 1980s, he was touring and recording under his own name and finding widespread success on the festival circuit. Chuck Berry recorded his hit Maybelline on May 21st, 1955 at Universal Recording Studios in Chicago, Illinois. The song adapted in part from the Western swing fiddle tune Ida Red and is considered to be one of the first rock and roll songs. Now notice I said one of the first and not the first rock and roll song. I'm not going to wade into that debate. Anyway, the track became Berry's single release in July of that year, where it peaked at number 5 on the U.S. chart. Blues singer Lee Shot Williams was born May 21st, 1938 in Lexington, Mississippi. He got the nickname Shot from his mother at a young age, owing to his fondness for wearing suits and dressing up like a big shot. Williams moved to Chicago in 1958. A few years later, he joined Magic Sam's band as a singer. In 1962, Williams recorded his first singles, Hello Baby and I'm Trying. His 1964 recording of Welcome to the Club was a hit in Chicago and later covered by Little Milton for Checker Records in 1965. Jump blues singer Billy Wright was born May 21st in either 1918, 1928, or 1932. Yeah, I know it's a big date range, but multiple sources list that as a date range for possible birth dates. He was a flamboyant performer, and he was known as the Prince of the Blues throughout his career. He was a figure in the Atlanta blues circuit after World War II. His first record, Blues for My Baby, rose to number 3 on the Billboard R&B chart in 1949. He had a major influence on rock and roll pioneer Little Richard, who he helped get his first recording contract in 1951. Albert Collins started recording the album Ice Pickin' on May 22, 1978 for Allocator Records at Kurt Thomas Studios in Chicago. It was the album that sparked Albert Collins' belated rise to blues stardom, a full 20 years after the master of the Telecaster recorded the first of his incendiary, cool instrumentals titled The Freeze. Ice Pickin' was nominated for a Grammy in 1979. In 1986, the album was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. Blues piano player Aaron Pinetop Sparks was born May 22, 1910, in Corona, Mississippi. He got his nickname from playing Pinetop Smith's hit, Pinetop's Boogie Woogie. In 1920, the family moved to St. Louis, where he and his twin brother, Marion Lindbergh Sparks, formed a group, with Aaron playing the piano and Marion singing. Their first recording session was in 1932, when they recorded a number of blues and boogie-woogie songs. Perhaps the most notable recording is Every Day I Have the Blues, a song he wrote with his brother and was recorded in 1935. Blues and jazz piano player A.B. Boogaloo Ames was born May 23, 1918, on the Big Egypt plantation in Kruger, Mississippi. He began playing the piano at the age of 5. When he was a teenager, he moved to Detroit, and by the late 1940s, Ames was leading his own band there. Through the following decade, he performed with various big-name musicians, including Nat King Cole and Errol Garner. Around this time, he picked up the nickname Boogaloo. In the 1960s, Ames did session work at Berry Gordy's fledgling Motown studio. Muddy Waters records Manish Boy on May 24, 1955. It was one of a series of chess singles that featured Muddy Waters convincingly touting his own virility. Now, he was joined by an all-star crew, with Junior Wells filling in the harmonica spot, one usually held by Little Walter on Muddy Waters' sessions. It was a solid stop-time follow-up to Muddy's I'm Your Hoochie Coochie Man and Bo Diddley's 1955 hit I'm a Man. The record hit the top 10 in all 3 of the R&B charts Billboard magazine then published. All right, blues fans, we just covered some of the highlights here. Now, if you want to know more about these artists or the other things that happened this week in the blues, and there's a lot of them, be sure to follow our social media pages or just go out and visit our website at bigtrainblues.com. We'll have a brand new episode next week, and we'll talk about jump blues pioneer T-Bone Walker and blues diva Mamie Smith. It's going to be a great show, so we'll see you then.